this what we're doing here? We're doing the first female podcast in history. Good morning, Creamers and Dreamers. This is Lauren's Dreamhouse. So welcome back. I'm Lauren LaRoe. It is a very special episode because it's the second episode, and that's the one where we get more comfortable with things and we remember all the things that we forgot to talk about last time and we address them once and for all. Also, I want to share my appreciation for the fact that this what we're doing here. We're doing the first female podcast in history. And they said that it couldn't be done. Oh, fuck. Do you hear that? That's not on purpose. And we're keeping that in because that's exactly what I'm going to talk about in a moment. First female podcast in history. They said it couldn't be done, but here we are really doing it. And I hope I don't fuck it up for the rest of you guys, but I plan on doing an excellent job. So what you just heard was a bunch of ducks coming out of my phone. Could you hear it through your headphones, Irish? Cool. The reason I have that is because your boy's back on the meds. Why is your boy back on the meds? Because your boy had a crazy episode that lasted probably 4 or 5 days. Massive, anxious, depressive episode that shook my world and the worlds of those around me. And it's kind of like, you know, the alarm is the alarm for me to take the meds so I don't forget, because that was kind of a big deal for me the first time. I'm on Prozac, 20 milligrams. Shout out to Pfizer or whatever, whoever the fuck makes that shit. I've had a really weird relationship with medication for the past couple of years, and I am a sexual assault survivor. I hate that word because it sounds a little too powerful, but I also hate the word victim. So, I was a sexual assault, not doer because I didn't do it. Wow, what a mess. Brain, back on the meds, running from the feds, always eating bread, rhyme until I'm dead, sick in the head, not named Fred, don't know any other words. This has been the podcast. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, dude, my brain's a whole fucking mess and I feel like a zombie, but we got to power through. And I'm sharing all of this because I want you all to know what could happen if you go off your meds. I did tell my doctor that I want to go off the meds, and I did go off the meds, and I did it the right way, kind of. Probably stopped a little shorter than I was supposed to back in January. Backtracking a little bit, like I said, I have experienced sexual violence. Because of that, I had a lot of PTSD, a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, things that would sync up pretty specifically with my period. So I was diagnosed with something called PMDD in 2019, which is like, it's basically like you're just a raging PMS bitch for double the time. So instead of just for like 5 to 7 days, every 2 weeks, I thought that I was bipolar for a really long time because I was like, I'm experiencing such stark changes in my, my stream of consciousness, like going from super positive and energetic to, more negative, more sluggish, tired, agitated. And I tried my very, very, very best for a very long time to just kind of deal with it and power through it and exercise and take care of my diet and do all the things that people tell you to do to live a healthier life. But there are some things about your brain that you can't ignore. Like, and I didn't have to live that way for so long, and other people don't have to live that way either. And I'm not saying that Prozac is the end-all, be-all answer, but for me, I mean, it really saved my life. It saved my shit. I was worried for What is that? Oh, dying dog. Cool. Same, honestly. It's a mess outside and it's a mess inside. But yeah. So I don't. Do you hear that? Whatever. New York City, baby. No, it's fine. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, it's just it really saved my shit when I kind of couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't like continue experiencing living this like weird duality of confusion and illness. And I still, even taking medication, feel depressed sometimes, but not nearly as like it felt like I experienced an insane trauma every 2 weeks before I was on it. And that's no way to live, and that's nuts. So thank God for medication. And, I was on it for 3 straight years. And then I decided in January, following my surgery, I got surgery for some other female bullshit. And they put an IUD inside of me. They just went and put it in there. They just went and stuck it in there. And I guess you could call a hardware upgrade, or at least so we thought. And it turned out to just be fucking trash. And I gained 25 pounds because of it. It also made me more depressed. It was like fucking with the medication and my hormones and all this shit. So in January, I finally just said, fuck it. Going back to 0. And so I got the IUD taken out, which I have, and you can buy it as an NFT for Ethereum. I will mint it. Whatever process that, I can put it in resin and preserve it forever. I can put it on a little lollipop for you. It's really not my business. After I sell it to you, you can do whatever you want. So I do really still have the IUD and you can buy it. But anyway, I went off the meds and I was feeling really fucking tight for like 3 months. And I was like, according to everything that I was told and that I have been reading, the half-life of the whole medication is like a week. And then like, I don't know, basically it was concluded that after 1 month it would be out of my system. So I figured after 3 months that if I was still feeling rich and right, then I was like in the clear. And then I like slowly started to feel like I was just going back to this negative, just kind of like spiral that didn't make any sense, because I love my life. I love everyone in my life. I'm very blessed. Every day, my boyfriend and I text each other in the morning and tell each other what we're grateful for. I like to remind myself how grateful I am for things, and that keeps you in perspective. And, I still am exercising and eating right, but things just kept just fucking going down. And then it kind of culminated in, some bullshit over the weekend that was, totally my fault. And I mean, that's like unfair of me to say. I got into an argument. It was a silly thing to get mad about. And I can confidently say that because of how much reflecting I did after that. And I love taking responsibility for when I'm wrong. It's like my number one kink. I love being wrong, and I love taking responsibility for it and just being like, I'm wrong, I'm sorry, and meaning it. Because it feels like euphoric, because I feel like I'm learning. But I mean, now, fortunately, I'm on the other side of that argument, and put things in perspective once again and started taking my meds like in the middle of that episode, knowing that it would just get worse again. So the thing about going on and off the meds is that, like, you feel all the whacked out symptoms again that you felt the first time you took it. Like I said, I'm taking Prozac, and I didn't have any like mood swings when I started taking it, but I just started peeing like 25 times a day. And not losing any water weight, which would have been tight, It's like, where is this water coming from, and why doesn't it make like a measurable mathematic difference? But, oh well, I'm not a fucking wizard. But it also gives me crazy heartburn, so I feel like I'm like eating glass, which is so cool. And I don't know. I mean, those things are getting better day after day, and I'm pretty sure that after a week, I will start to feel straightened out again. But I really thought that I was better. Like I had this this idea that, and I might still be right, I'm not sure, but this is my theory. I said I had a really, really bad episode in 2019. Before that, I was having crazy episodes like on a monthly basis and just wasn't a tolerable person to be around half of the time. And I thought there were a lot of stressors and things that I was addressing like in a therapy situation at the time. And I said, you know what, I need medicine to pull me out of this. And then, over the winter, I was kind of feeling like, you know what, maybe I was able to climb out of it once and for all. Maybe it's done. Maybe I healed myself. Like, if you're sick, you take medicine and then you get better. And I thought that maybe that was it. Like that I tricked my chemistry for so long that I would just kind of maintain that stasis and just kind of be able to readapt with my natural chemistry. And that is not true. I was going to say, unfortunately, that's not true, but what am I going to do? Like that it's just me and my chemistry and how I'm designed. And I wish I didn't have this thing that was kind of affecting my brain in such crazy ways that I feel, really not myself and just foreign half of the time. But I'm very grateful for the fact that I found a medication that agrees with me. So I'm lucky, and I'm lucky that I have insurance. I'm lucky that I can afford it. I'm lucky that I found doctors that believed me and didn't call me crazy. I mean, I did have oh my God, I had so many doctors that called me crazy. It's actually nuts for so long. Yeah, that's really the worst part. And, for all of you people out there, like trying to find a medication or you're wondering if you should go on something, I know you feel like it's making you weak if you do that. And I don't want you to feel like you're asking for help is a bad thing, because if I could have done it sooner, I would have. Not that I didn't have the access to it, but I just didn't believe in it. I didn't believe in medication. I thought that it was up to me to make myself feel better, and that with enough therapy and discipline and healthy habits, that I would be able to overcome it. And there are some illnesses that you just cannot overcome alone. So try things in a safe way. Don't do drugs like I did, to medicate, like, illegal drugs to medicate yourself. And especially weed's chill. We all know that. But like, if you smoke weed, like to accomplish something about your brain, you're probably just doing the opposite thing without even realizing it. And also, if you're on meds, don't do crazy illegal drugs too, because I did that last year and I flipped all the furniture in my apartment. So that's true, and I will never forget it. And am I a little bit of an Amber Turd? Maybe. But I'm not fully. I'm just a turd. I'm just a turd. But that's fine. We're all fucking turds. Yeah. First female podcast. Shout out. Hashtag first female podcast. Let's get it trending worldwide. What else do I have here? I just had the opportunity to do the Risque Business News podcast with Laura and May. It was such a blast. I had the best time. They do the best show. Shout out to them. Please follow them. Look at all their clips. Look at their history. Go into their search history. Look at the kind of porn that they like. Figure out the ins and outs of their brain, and comment things that are too specific that will freak them out. Things that will question how you got that information. And then maybe you'll end up on the podcast too. But I was on the podcast discussing, and I'm saying this now on this episode because I wanted them to have like the story first. And then here is where I'll kind of get into the little bits of detail that I didn't really get into on their episode. So their whole thing is talking about news. Obviously fucking news, business news, and, CEO misconduct. And, what are some of the other topics that they've covered recently?
Sort of like corporate scandals.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Right. And perfect name too, really good. Scandalers. Yeah, I gotta stop saying someone, those bug assault guns where it's like a rifle that shoots salt at bugs? I'm gonna give one to Irish, and Irish just gets to nail me in the forehead every time I say and you're gonna love that. That's gonna be a treat for us all.
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
How many times did you say like on the first episode of your podcast?
Every other word.
Yeah. I try to be better about that. Yeah. But fuck, motherfucker, I'm gonna lose an eye. Anyway, it's like it's a speech filler, and so is but you gotta only eliminate one at a time. So I went on the Risque Business News podcast to talk about my Uber story. And if you're not familiar, this is the plague of my existence. At least part of my existence. My existence of the last, this was October 1st that this happened. So since October 1st, I've been in like a really egregious battle with Uber for reasons that are not my fault and that I can't believe are being perpetuated for so long. Mm-hmm. So what happened was the night before October 1st, so whatever the fucking last day of September is, the 30th or the 31st, 30, right? There's 30 days in September, something, and that's the song, yeah. Right? So on September 30th, I went out for drinks with one of my friends. One drink turned into like 19, and smoking cigarettes indoors at a bar and watching the bartender do like kick flips off of the bar. 'Cause he was like, I'm quitting tomorrow anyway. And we were like, hell yeah, dude. And then I realized that I had to like go to work. So he got me, he got in the Uber with me. He took me home, make sure I was safe and everything. God bless him. 'Cause that was not a good night for me. And I was in that Uber and I threw up White Claw only. You ever have that time where you just only have White Claw for the whole day, and so you vomit like this liquid reminiscent of like limited to perfume, So, but I since I didn't eat anything, I also didn't drink that much. It was only like 3 or 4 drinks over the course of like 4 hours, but I was fucked. And I threw up, but it was like a little secret. Like I like felt it come up and then into my mouth, and I closed my mouth like this, and I was just like, one moment, please. And I like took the door or the window and I rolled the window down, and I was just like, bleh. And then I let it go, and that was really cute, and nothing happened. They didn't charge us for like a cleaning fee or anything, which was delicious. And for some reason, because I've had nights like that before where I really didn't eat anything and I drank too much, and you wake up and you're like hungover, but like I deal with hangovers pretty well because like I'm just hydrated as all fucking get out. So I go to work the next day, and I'm the most violently hungover that I've ever been in my entire life. And I was sitting at my desk and literally just trying to like live minute by minute. And I ordered Uber Eats breakfast, and I got Chick-fil-A, and it was fine. And pretty much the reason I'm prefacing all of this is because you used Uber twice in New York City, pretty much like verifying my location, right? And this will be more important later. But I used Uber at like 4 a.m, and I used Uber Eats at around 10:30 or 11 a.m. And pretty much like a half hour after I got the breakfast, or after I ordered the breakfast, I had literally taken like 2 bites. I start getting notifications, and the first one is like, Uber, your password has been changed. And I was like, Interesting. But that's a 2 hours from now problem. And then within like 30 to 45 seconds, they were like, oh, someone turned on 2FA for your account. So I was like, oh, fuck. Now I can't get in. So this is real. And then I started getting a flood of notifications, one after another. $99 Uber Eats, $99 Uber Eats, $99 Uber Eats. And for those of you who have seen this story before on my Instagram, because I publish it on an L drop, and we'll get into L drops later. They're the stories that I publish on Thursdays. Really cool Instagram stories documenting things that I feel you should know about. Anyway, the first part of this story is on there, so apologies for anything repeated, but there's a really good update to this story, so that's why I'm bringing it up. So I get 10 notifications in the span of like 2 minutes, all $99 charges for Uber Eats, all coming from my Venmo. And it was the one time in history that I had like all of my rent and stuff in my Venmo like balance. So it just depleted my Venmo balance, and then it just stopped because my Venmo balance was done. So I said, well, this is fucking terrible, but at least I can fix it, because no one in their right mind would do that, would charge $1,000 to Uber Eats in 2 minutes. That's not indicative of my Uber behavior. And in fact, I am an Uber Diamond member. What that means is I spent the better part of $5,000-$6,000. I mean, maybe a little more, maybe a little bit less, but in like 3 months, because I was working at a production company where we could expense all of our Ubers like on our own account. But it was on a company card because we were running errands and so on and so forth. So, I had racked up all of these points and this awesome status, and that really never meant anything because Uber doesn't really give you any perks. But at this moment, I was kind of like, oh, okay, since I'm a Diamond member, I get that 24/7 access to complain about stuff and report whatever the hell's going on here. So thank God I'm not some kind of Uber pleb who doesn't have the access to the goods, right? So, or at least so I fucking thought, right? God damn it. So I call Venmo and I say, just freeze any transactions from Uber. I don't even remember what I said, but I was like, freeze the account. Because there's like a button on the Venmo where they say like you can freeze the account, but you have to call first. And for some reason I had to talk to a motherfucker on the phone. So I did. And they were like, oh yeah, this is crazy, but we believe you. So we'll start the investigation. And I was like, great, thanks. And that was pretty straightforward. And I thought that, I've experienced credit card fraud before. And I've gotten all my money back, and the investigations do take a couple months, and that sucks. Sometimes you get your money back immediately as a credit, and sometimes when it's a little bit larger of a dollar amount, you just don't. Excuse me. So I thought that I just kind of had my work cut out for me for the foreseeable future, but nothing crazy, nothing that I can't prove is just outright fraud. So I sit back at my desk and I eat my cold, decent Chick-fil-A. What I got was 2 biscuits and some nuggets, I think, and a sweet tea, a big fat sweet tea. And oh my God, there's nothing your boy loves more than a big fat fucking sweet tea. So I'm sipping on a sweet tea. And what happens? I get notifications even faster this time. Couldn't believe my eyes. They were coming in so fast that I was sitting at my desk and I was going, oh my God, no. And everyone around me, because I was in like an open floor plan kind of office. Everyone was looking at me like, what the fuck's going on? And I was like, I couldn't even explain what was going on. Notification, $99, bam, bam, bam. This time, 20 more notifications for $99. So now I'm $3,000 out, right? Where is this money coming from? Find out it's coming from my credit card. It makes me realize, oh shit, I have every payment ever that I've ever used, whether it's like boyfriends, ex-boyfriends, offices, parents. I have literally all these credit cards on my Uber account because, if a payment fails or if there's something wrong with it, then I just like go to the next one, right? But now I'm realizing everything is tethered to my account. So I start freaking out because I can't get into my account and I can't remove any of the other cards. What I do is I just freeze my debit card. I freeze my Venmo debit card. I call my dad and I say, cancel your card. I'm sorry. I tried to cut off every bit of payment that I had. And after the 30 transactions, I was able to stop it. And at that point, it was like, okay, we're going sicko mode now because someone has deeply, 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 deeply wronged me. And now we're talking Uber Eats, right? So what are you ordering? What are you ordering? It wasn't Thanksgiving. It was October 1st. It wasn't even Mean Girls Day. That's October 3rd. Everyone knows that. I'm just sitting here wondering what they could have been ordering. And I mean, I should have been thinking about more to stop the things that were going on or make sure that they weren't going any further. But I was just kind of laughing to myself, like, what could a person possibly spend all of that money on in such a short period of time? So I go and I call Bank of America and I say, hey, all of this happened. Can you deal with it, please? And they said, yes, we will deal with it. What you have to do is you have to file a police report with the place that the transactions are coming from. So I said, well, I don't really know where the transactions are coming from. And I realized that I was getting receipts from Uber, and in the receipts had what they ordered, where they ordered from, and where they ordered to. Now, this was delicious news to me because I wanted revenge. I mean, they fucked me so bad financially that, it's not like I was out of money. It's that I had no way to get the money. I couldn't turn my debit card on because the second I did, they would drain it, right? I couldn't use any of my credit cards because the second that any of them were working, who knows, maybe the fraud had some kind of trigger system where if any of the cards were active, that they would just continue to run it, right? So I had to call my boyfriend and I had to call my dad and borrow their credit cards and stuff, whatever. So I was fucking angry at this point. I was like amused and mostly angry. So I hang up with Bank of America. They're like, yeah, we'll get the investigation started. I'm like, there's nothing to fucking investigate. I didn't fucking do this, but okay, whatever. So I go into the receipts and it gives me an address where the food was delivered. And I was like, this is remarkable. Thank God. Thank God that whoever logged in didn't change the email. So that they were getting the receipts and that it was completely untrackable, because what they did at that point was make it completely trackable. I realized it's in Austin, Texas. Now, this is excellent news to me because I've never been to Texas in my entire life. I would love to. I mean, maybe not now or there, but I was just happy because it was pretty easy for me to prove, based on the 2 transactions I was telling you about earlier, having gone out in the city. I took an Uber home in the city that night or that morning, and then I had breakfast that I ordered from Uber Eats also. So, Austin, Texas, great, I'm exonerated. This investigation should be very fast, and this should all end very quickly. Now, did that happen? Absolutely not. It didn't happen. What happened was I had to call the Austin Police Department first and file a police report. They said, oh, okay, whatever, but you got to file the report, and then you have to go and wait 2 days and confirm the report so that we know that you mean it. And I'm like, am I being Me Too'd? Like, am I being Me Too'd by the city of Austin, right? And now we know that the Texas cops don't have the best track record right now. But, I mean, you keep doing shit like this, no one's going to like you, right? If I file a police report, I mean it. I've done that 3 times in my life, and they were all for assault or fraud or, things that are very serious, things that I can't just deal with my fists, right? Well, I could, but I had no fucking money to get there. So better believe your girl would have done it with the fist. But regardless, so I'm like, great. Now I have to remember to follow up with this. This is nonsense, whatever. I take the matters into my own hands at this point, or at least, in the best way that I could. I Google the address and it pinpoints Home Depot. And I said, great. Why? Why is this great? Because Home Depots have phone numbers. You can call them and you can ask them questions. I look up the phone number and I look up the hours. Store's open. They have a phone number. Now, it's really interesting because it pinpointed, this Home Depot complex was so big that the different departments of the Home Depot had different addresses and different phone numbers. So I actually got to find the garage where the Home Depot, where the food was delivered to. So it was the gardening department or whatever. So I find that number and I call them specifically. And some 14-year-old kid picks up and he's like, hello, this is Home Depot Dave or whatever. And I'm like, I hope you're fucking happy, dude, because you done fucked up all my finances. You ruined my fucking life. I hope you're enjoying your $3,000 feast. Oh, yeah, I didn't even say where the fucking food came from, did I? Nope. It was McDonald's. I'm sorry for the dead air, but please go on this journey with me for a second, okay? $3,000 of McDonald's. There's no system on their computer that flags that as crazy, right? That place was so in the middle of nowhere that $3,000 is probably more money than they've ever made. I feel like that place does $20 in sales a day. Meanwhile, you're getting $3,000 worth of sales in a half hour, an hour tops, and no one's raising an alarm. I realized later why that all made sense, but back to the phone call. So I'm reaming out this kid and he's just like, ma'am, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm realizing that it's probably not him and feeling a little bit bad about that. But not too bad because chances are he would have eaten the food, And I said, well, guess what, dude? I called the police and I'm coming for your ass and it's over for you and you're going to fucking jail, dude. And, you're not. First of all, the police report wasn't even confirmed. And he probably didn't even do it. But regardless, I definitely scared the shit out of that kid. And if you're out there, I'm sorry a little bit, but only a little bit. I was mad. Hang up the phone and I'm like, okay, time to sort this out with Uber. Now with Uber, you have to complain through the app. And I went into the app, at least tried, and I couldn't get in because I was logged out. And I tried to retrieve the password, but they had the 2FA turned on. So whoever changed it was getting the notifications to their cell phone that I was trying to change it. And I'm sure that was a big fucking laugh for them. And then I look for the 24/7 number that I'm supposed to have access to on Uber Diamond. And they're like, you have to find it through the app. This is an old number. I try to call that number. It doesn't work. Can't get into the app. What am I to do? I email them and I explain the situation, but it was a random email. And the only message I got back was, please do it through the app so we can see what you're talking about. And I was like, I literally just fucking said that I'm locked out of the app, whatever. So because I had no other option, I went to Twitter and I dedicated my Twitter to bullying the ever living fuck out of Uber until I got a response. And it didn't take too long for me to get a response. And some representative DM'd me and said, hey, what's your issue? Give me your email and we will follow up through the email. And I said, good, that's great news, because I can't get into the app. I'm locked out. People are making fraudulent charges. It's crazy. $3,000, McDonald's, etc. So they follow up with me through the email. And this time they're like, tell me your story. Let's figure this out. And I'm like, thank God. I tell the story, the whole thing, top to bottom. Tell them that I have never been to Texas in my life. I tell them that I made transactions in New York within the last 24 hours. I tell them that I'll give them anything they want to verify my identity, that I spent thousands of dollars on Uber only in this area, never anywhere else, and that they should believe me. And if nothing else, they should do an investigation. So they said, okay, well, we're going to do an investigation. They do an investigation, and within like 2 days, they're like, yeah, so the investigation came up that you actually made those charges, and we're sorry, but we can't help you, and you have to pay all of that money, or else you're banned from Uber. So I said, there must be some kind of misunderstanding, because I just gave you the whole story, and none of this makes any fucking sense. And they said, well, there's nothing else we can do. And I said, well, can I talk to your manager? And they said, well, no, they're going to tell you the same thing. And I said, but I didn't do it. And they said, fuck you. So now I'm not done. I go back on Twitter. Now I'm tagging every Uber subsidiary across the globe. We're talking Uber UK, Uber Australia, Uber France, Uber Spain, Uber Portugal, Uber fucking Germany, right? I think the one that got back to me was either France or UK. I don't remember. Maybe even both, but I only responded to one of them. And I tried to get them to help me. I'm like, look, Uber United States wronged me. You know how these guys are. They're fucking shysters, right? They're not good people. But you, International Uber, I'm going to give you a real good chance. What we're going to do is you're going to connect with me and you're going to help me figure this out, because I didn't spend $3,000 fucking dollars on chicken nuggets like the United States Uber says that I did. Okay? This didn't fucking happen. I'm upset. So, composure. They do the same thing. They're like, we're going to follow up via email. I give them the same story. At this point, I also have all of the transaction codes so that they can like go in and look through the Uber database, like what the transactions were and when, and you know what the amount was, like the Uber IDs of the transactions. Even with all of that, they're like, we keep doing this investigation and we keep finding that you did it, and you're just a big fat fucking fat ass, I guess. You ordering $3,000 worth of chicken nuggets in a state you've never been to. Bitch, you must be so big that you can eat chicken nuggets in another state. Whatever, right? So it's absolutely so insane and disrespectful that I kind of gave up. Thankfully, because of the nature of the whole thing, I didn't have to pay that money. My bank and Venmo were very good about saving all of it. But I'm not allowed to use Uber. But then on Christmas, and I swear to God on everything that I love, on Christmas morning, I said, you know what? It would be really, really cute if an angel of sorts came and resolved this Uber situation, because I love Uber. I have all these fucking rewards that I haven't used. I have like all this stuff, like literally money that I could be using, you know, anyway. So Christmas morning, I go in to the app and it's gone. My freeze on the account is gone. And I'm like, did somebody do this? Like, did somebody fix this? Did somebody realize that this was wrong and correct the mistake? Like, this is awesome. So between Christmas Day and New Year's, I was able to use my account. And New Year's Eve, I like ordered alcohol and food and all this stuff. And I'm like, thank God, like, because this was a disaster. And haha, what a funny story now that it's over. New Year's Day, I try to order breakfast and they're like, you owe us $3,000. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? I just used this shit for days. And I was in the app. So anyway, what they did do was help me recover the account for some reason. They concluded that I wasn't the one who changed the password, right? I don't even think I brought this up on the other show. They concluded that I wasn't the one who changed the password, and that was fraud, but that the rest of everything was on me, right? Which makes all the sense in the world. So I do another complaint now, this time since I have the access and I turned on my own 2FA because you don't fool me fucking twice, right? I go and I give them the whole story again, and I'm like, and I was just able to use my account. What happened? And they were like, we don't know what happened. You suck. Kill yourself. You'll never use Uber again. And we hope that everyone you love gets AIDS or something. But and you know what? They won't. They won't get AIDS. Nothing bad will happen to my family. I will never pay that money, and I will get the freeze taken off my account, and I'll tell you why. Because I did something. I did something really good and really cute. And the cute and cool thing that I did was sign up to be an Uber employee. So I figured if no one's going to listen to me, and it's impossible to get in touch with anybody, it's impossible to get support on Twitter, through the app, through prayer. I don't have anyone who can help me. No human being is able or willing to do this for me. So I'm going to become an employee of Uber and attack them from the inside like a Trojan horse of McDonald's, right? So I did this like a month ago. And it's very easy, I'll have you know, to just be an Uber driver. Because often I'm sure you get into an Uber, you have food delivered, and the food is like upside down and stepped on, and it's all like fucking ice cold, and it's not even your order, it's not even close to your name, and you're like, who the fuck are these people, right? Like, how do you get away with this? And the answer is because you just sign up. You literally just sign up. All you have to do is pass the background check and it's fine. And you know what? That's good. People should have access to a job that, if they need some money, that they get paid very quickly. And, there's no like fucking stupid interview process or whatever. But I mean, I signed up for this shit and got passed pretty much immediately. And I had to do a background check, and that background check just cleared like 2 weeks ago. And then this morning, someone reached out and said, hey, I'm whoever the fuck, and I would like to help you with your process of, becoming an employee. And I said, great, I have a lot of questions. Can we set up a time to talk? And they said, due to COVID-19 complications. And I will share this, and we could put it on the screen, what they said. Let me actually read it right now so I'm not fucking this up. They said, so for any questions, please let us know. And I said, can you connect me with someone who can answer my questions, knowing that this is probably someone who's just texting and like not going to fulfill the whole thing. And they said, due to developments related to COVID-19, some of our support centers are currently experiencing delays, in some cases closed. Thanks for your patience and understanding. We're happy to assist you in the in-app messaging. And then they also said, if you have any concerns, please let me know. We're here to help. So you're not, though, right? Like you just said that you're not, right? You can't answer my questions. So now I'm kind of like too pissed off to deal with that. But I'm going to inevitably fix this situation and get in touch with someone from Uber and sort this all out. And the only reason I want to do that is, number one, because like it needs to be resolved, right? Just for my personal pride. Number two, I have all these rewards and all these points that I want to use. Just like fucking let me drain that out, and then I'll be gone forever. And I also want Uber to fucking know how incompetent their structure is from top to fucking bottom. The girls just said that the CEO resigned or was ousted or whatever the exact details were, but they've been a mess for years. They have a long history of bullshit, and everyone knows that their customer support is the fucking worst. And then you have people like Amazon where, I got a pair of headphones delivered and the driver fucking inserted it into the snow. So I couldn't find it. And then Amazon was like, oh, it's a $300 pair of headphones that was definitely delivered. Oh, you can't find it? Did you look? We believe you. Here's the credit for the headphones and also another pair of headphones. And you'll get them immediately so that they're in time for Christmas. And then the snow melted and I found the headphones. You know what? They were fine. And that fucking rules. Do I need to do that? Okay. Oh, right, for the thing. So, yeah, you have companies like Amazon who are incredible with their customer support at the detriment of millions of people, of course. They don't treat people right at all. But there surely is a middle ground between Amazon and their customer service excellence and Uber and just like them squatting over my face and just taking a giant dump into my eyes because that's what they did and that's how I feel. So that's my Uber story, and that's the update. You'll see it on Risque Business and also here where you had more details. And if you know anyone from Uber, put them in touch with me. You can have them email me at info@laurenslist.com. And that would be great. I would love to talk to anyone. I promise I'll be a good girl and I won't yell and I won't make a big deal out of everything unless they wrong me once more, because the threshold right now is real thin and just real fragile. So if you give me like a little bit of tude, I'm coming for your entire family. And that is a threat. So that's Uber. How much time have we done? 45? Wow. Yeah. I'm the king of going right to 45 and asking what time it is. First female podcast.
You've only done it twice.
I did it on Risque Business too. Yeah.
You guys did great.
It was a really good episode. Please check that out. I'll share it, of course. So this is something that I know if you guys like Your Mom's House, which I'm a huge fan, Tom Segura and Christina Pajitsky, they're cool motherfuckers. But I believe that there's like a what they call the Pajitsky effect. Do you guys like know what that is, or like you don't have to pull it up, but like it's like things that she has done that are so dumb that like no one else, like she thought that everyone else did things like that, right? Like for instance, she would like be soaking wet and just put all her clothes on and not dry off, and that's like something that she just does, right? And I respect the hell out of that because that's me right here. That's me from here all the way down there. That's me just doing the dumbest shit of all time. But I was talking to somebody recently about how much I love the Blue Man Group, and they were like, who? And I was like, the band, the Blue Man Group. And they were like, band? And I'm like, yeah, I know that they do like shows and stuff, but like, or it's like a tourist attraction, but it's like, they're a band. It's like the Blue Man Group. And they were like, dude, no one gives a fuck about the Blue Man Group. And I was really sad to hear that because I've been obsessed with the Blue Man Group since I was like 7 years old, thinking that they were like an international sensation that like topped the charts. And I bought their albums and I've seen them twice. One time in Vegas, they took my mom on stage and they like took her on like a little fake date and sprayed banana in her face. And that was obviously awesome. But I'm like obsessed with the Blue Man Group and no one else even knows what they are. Do you guys like know who the Blue Man Group are? Have you ever seen them? Not live. They're really fun.
I've seen them a couple times.
You've seen them a couple times. How many times?
I think my parents took me once, and then I know a friend for his birthday, like they got him tickets we went to one time, and then I think that's it. There could be one other time, I don't really remember, but for sure two.
Did you love it?
Love is a strong word.
Oh, it's not strong enough.
I mean,
I love these people.
the first time I saw it as like a kid, and I was like, oh, this is like, it was like, it's cool. And then the second time I got to see it when I was like, could like smoke weed and stuff. So it was like also cool, but like, it wasn't like life changing.
Oh, it was like, it changed my whole life. I like would go to wax museums and be like, where's the Blue Man Group section? Their album, The Complex, I've listened to that like 7,000 times. It's like one of my most listened to pieces of music like in my whole collection. And I love everything. I have a very big collection of music, and so does my dad. My dad has like 10,000 CDs. He I would just go in and fuck around with his CDs and always play the Blue Man Group CD on his giant stereo. And I just can't fucking believe that people don't love the Blue Man Group as much as me. And that's a problem, because if people don't love them now, what are they going to, I mean, they're going to go extinct. And it was really like earth shattering for me to find out that they weren't all the same, like the three people, like all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it would be like going to see the Foo Fighters in Dallas, and they're the different Foo Fighters from the Foo Fighters in New York. Like, I just thought that they were the same Blue Man Group doing all the shows, but logistically that could not make sense. And that was, still heartbreaking to me, kind of like being told that Santa wasn't real. But the Blue Man Group fucking slaps, and you should listen to them. And I'm really upset that people aren't aware of them. But it's literally like liking Stomp. Like, Stomp is so, like, it's fine. And I mean, I would listen to... Oh, my mom's calling me. Hold on, let's get her on the pod.
105 days.
What?
Oh, hi.
You say you haven't done laundry in 5 days? I'm doing the podcast right now. You're on the microphone. Yeah, you can...
Oh, shit.
No, say hi.
Sorry.
Say hi.
No.
No, be... Yeah, say hi.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Mommy.
Hello.
Hi. What I'm doing is, this is actually the perfect time, because I'm talking about how much I love the Blue Man Group. And how no one else in the world even gives a shit about them at all. And I grew up thinking that they were like the coolest band in history.
Yeah, no, nobody gives a shit.
And I loved... Tell the people how much I love the Blue Man Group.
Yeah, Lauren went through a phase, a big phase, along with her Trump phase. There was a Trump phase, and there was a Blue Man Group phase. And then
She just outed me. I did have a Trump phase. That's such a good thing to talk about. What year was that? I was like 7 years old, and I was obsessed with Donald Trump.
You were
Like,
obsessed with
fucking
Trump.
obsessed.
We had to take you to Trump Tower, remember? We had to
For
order
my
you.
birthday.
Yeah, because The Apprentice. Yeah, we had to say you're fired. We all had to run tape saying you're fired.
Dude, so I was obsessed with Donald Trump when I was like 7 years old. And I loved The Apprentice. It was my favorite show. And the song would come on and be like, money, 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 money. And I would just get so jazzed up. It was like, the Rocky song. It was like my Rocky song. And I thought Donald Trump was the coolest, funniest, best dude on earth. Yeah. And I was obsessed with the show for a really long time. And for my birthday, they took me to Trump Tower as an event.
We have pictures of you in front of Trump Tower.
Oh, yeah. And I'm going like, you're fired. Dude, loving it. That shit was the best. Yeah. Well, what are you doing? Well, what were you going to say?
No, I can't say actually what I was calling you for.
Why?
No, I can't say it.
Tell me.
On the podcast.
Just say it. Just say it. Just say it.
I'll be arrested.
You'll be arrested? Come on.
No.
It's a comedy podcast, kind of.
Nope.
Can you give me a hint?
Definitely can't.
Can you give me a hint?
Nope.
Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, we're totally fine.
Okay.
We're totally fine. It's just definitely something I can't say on a podcast.
Okay. Well.
All right. Well, you go enjoy yourself. And
yeah.
Fire someone.
Fire someone. Yeah. Ani, get the fuck out of here. All right, Mommy. Love you.
Okay.
I'll call you after I'm done. All right. Bye. That was really funny. Wow. She really just said, oh, yeah, your Blue Man Group phase at the same time as your Trump phase. Who's the most embarrassing 7-year-old on the planet? That's me. Or the coolest. I don't know. Weigh in. I'll ask people soon. I guess before we wrap up, we're not going to talk about Lauren's List this week because we're going to have kind of like a double Lauren's List segment next time. More news there. I don't want to bore you with the same old. But if you want to become part of Lauren's List, go to @itslauren'slist on Instagram, DM me, and say I would like to join the list. From there, I send you instructions. It includes filling out a very short questionnaire that tells me all the shit that you like and are into, how far you're willing to travel to have sex with somebody that I know. And the service is free and it's discreet. And you can get laid, maybe. I mean, I try as hard as I can. And like I said, it's free. So if you are in Arkansas you will be the only person on the list there. You know what I mean? But in New York, New Jersey, we got a lot of members. We're growing all the time. And one person in France, one person in Australia, one person in Virginia, and a whole load of dudes in California. And of course, I service, not sexually. Service is kind of an odd word. It kind of sounds like I'm giving hand jobs away, doesn't it? I provide resources to hook you up with people in your area, and we have all kinds of people. We got gay people, straight people, non-binary people, trans people, all over 18, I promise. So if you're interested in that, hit me up and I will make it work. And if you want to support those efforts without, paying for the service itself, you can always buy the merch, and that's in the link in the bio too. And we'll have all that information here, or wherever the fuck. So yeah, I sent you guys 2 things. One was the Monique thing, but what was the other thing? I don't remember. Chet Hanks. Yeah. Can we do Chet first? Yeah. So I'm gonna put the headphones on and my glasses. Oh boy, yeah, Chet, my little sweet baby, he's a real gem, isn't he? He just, he's the prime example of just like do whatever the fuck you want, and eventually things will be fine. Hold on one second, I got it. I just didn't want to do too much dead air. Okay, so we got the Chet Meister.
I just want to say, if you're watching this right now, you're right exactly where you're meant to be.
Saw this in the middle of my breakdown.
Brought you here, and it's happened for a reason.
I'm literally
the future
melting down.
You don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be all right. You're exactly where you're meant to be. You're not meant to be anywhere else. Everything happens according to God's plan.
Right.
And it's happening in your favor.
Uh-huh.
Have faith. Trust in God and trust yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And be kind to yourself.
Right. That's the biggest thing, isn't it, Chet?
I love you guys.
Yeah. All right, keep letting it play, but keep it a little lower, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're exactly where you meant to be. When I saw this, I was literally spiraling to death in my apartment. Who does the death spiral? Is that like a shark or something? Like, there's like an animal that, I think it's a crocodile or an alligator, either one. They like latch onto you and they go, and they do that until you die, right? That's what I was going through alone in my apartment. And I'm scrolling, trying to like distract myself. And Chet Hanks is just like, you know what, dude? Not only are you perfect, but God loves you and everything's going exactly to plan. And who knows where he's on the way to right now, but just filming this, like what comes across his mind where he just like decides, he's like, you know what? I'm on the way to the gym. So I should remind everyone how blessed they are and how much God loves them and how good the plan is, right? And I'm watching this being like, yo, the plan, I don't know what the plan is, but I intercepted the plan a little bit. I got off the meds. I got into the dumbest argument I've ever gotten into in my entire life. And Chet's like, great work. I think that you're doing really well and you're killing it. And he just does shit like that, dude. Can we pull it up one more time? I just want to make sure it sinks in.
Past everything that's happened. I just want to say, if you're watching this right now, you're right exactly where you're meant to be. Mm. The past, everything that's happened, it's brought you here.
Yeah.
It's happened for a reason.
Yep.
The future, we don't know what's going to happen.
We don't.
But it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
You're exactly where you meant to be.
This is a good time to do that too. Ray Liotta's dead, and so are hundreds of children. I mean, we have no food for babies. We have literally over the last weekend, there were like 14 shootings. Okay. He got the fresh haircut, right? He's wearing a clean t-shirt. If you're watching this right now, You're right. And first, when I saw this, he was like, "You're right," and I was like, I am right. And then he was like, "Where you're supposed to be," and I was like, "God damn it, I'm not right, am I?" Because when you get into an argument in your head and you're like, "Am I right? Are they right? Like, is this my fault? Whatever." And I scroll to that, and he's like, "You're right," and I'm like, "I am right." And he's like, "Where you're supposed to be," and I'm like, "Motherfucker, no one could trust you. No, what are you doing? Useless. Tell me I'm right." Tell me that I'm right in the argument. That's what I really want. God damn it. I love him so much. I think he's a problematic fave for sure. But keep doing what you're doing. He's out there saving lives, preventing school shootings, preventing shootings of all kinds, promoting diversity and inclusion. And I don't know, just really killing it. He's really, really killing it. And I think pretty much all he posts are things like that and him doing like 10 burpees a day. And that's it. You know what burpees are? Or like candlesticks or whatever the fuck, where you like jump up and then you jump back and you jump up and jump back. And he's like, this is how he hits his stomach too. He goes, and then he does the thing, and I'm like, oh my God, like some dudes really are still monkeys, Like most people are evolved, and like everyone I know is evolved, but there are some dudes who are just primates. Joe Rogan, another problematic fave, but love him to death. Joe Rogan, Chet Hanks, these are monkeys. Monkeys among men. Monkey men. And that's fine. And that's where monkeypox comes from, and I can't wait to get that. That's going to be so... Oh, knock on wood right now, because I really don't want to get that. But, yeah. It's coming, isn't it? And it's all because Joe Rogan took ivermectin, and that's why we have monkeypox. All right, so let's go to Monique. So I don't know if any of you guys have seen this.
That's what the motherfucking contract says. Monique is to be the last motherfucking person on the goddamn stage. She is the headliner. That's what I signed the fuck up for. I'm 30 plus years in this motherfucking business, and I don't open for no goddamn body. The contract said the headliner. The contract said the headliner. The contract said the headliner. But a nigga named D.L. Hughley turned into a bitch and said, I won't perform if she does that. I won't go out if she does that. Nigga, you open for the kings of comedy. I close for the queens of comedy, nigga.
That's right. That is right. All right, we can pause that.
Detroit,
So, it seems to me that, well, first of all, let's address the energy and the outfit. We love the energy. She is, you gotta love someone who's just saying exactly what the fuck they think. And that's what comedy is supposed to be. And honestly, she wasn't trying to be funny at the time. But damn it, Monique is nothing if not fucking honest and raw and true and just a beautiful, strong lion of a person, right? And we know that. Second of all, outfit, insane, like in the best possible way. Monique looks delicious. You're doing a great job, sweetie. And, it seemed like she's been wronged. And isn't that the theme recently? We've all been wronged. Jesus Christ, I haven't been able to shower at my place in God knows how long. All the water just keeps coming out. Chunks of dirt. We're all being wronged. I'm like, what did I do to deserve this? I'm being wronged. I go to my boyfriend's apartment. There's a mouse. Can't go there ever again, right? We're all being wronged. There are things coming up everywhere that make us upset. And Monique has been wronged by D.L. Hughley. And clearly there's a lot more to this story than we're aware of, for sure. But it seems, based on that clip, and I'm sure more information will arise, but it seems that she was supposed to be the headliner, and DL kind of swapped it either last minute or, without consulting her or the management, or maybe the management knew and they didn't tell her, so that she would just show up and do it anyway. Regardless, it seemed like she was just thrust into a situation that she didn't deserve. And that sucks. And I used to work at a comedy club. I said this the first episode. I'll probably bring it up fucking every episode because I have a lot of stories. But D.L. Hughley came to the Stress Factory, and, I don't know him as a man, but it just based on behavior of him and his team just seems like some shit that he would do. He would like be a bitch about his placement on a lineup, or about, I mean, just, it's you and Monique, just do it. But I don't know the context. I don't know the whole thing, but I'm glad that she said something. I love when people, when they're wronged, they say something, much like me and Uber, right? I mean, I've been wronged repeatedly. And Monique, I don't know if she has a reputation of being like difficult, quote unquote. I don't really know. I don't really trust stories that I hear about that. Even with Amber Heard, like when all of this shit started coming up years ago, I was like, everyone is like very quick to call women like bitches and like divas and hard to work with. And maybe they just wanted a glass of water on their rider, and they show up and there's no water, and they're like, I've been traveling for 10 fucking hours. Can I just have this glass of water? And then all of a sudden everyone's like, they're a bitch and I hate them forever, right? So I give a lot of benefit of the doubt to anyone, men or women, who are labeled as assholes in the public. But it seemed like she knows that she was wronged. And I hope that they right it. And I hope that I get some clarity on the situation, because no one should be put on stage under circumstances that they didn't agree to. And I at least hope that she got paid just as much, if not more, than DL, because, I mean, she's better. And I'm just going to come out and say it. But that's what that is. Yeah, fuck, dude. How much time are we at now? Little over an hour. Oh, I was going to talk about Kyle Rittenhouse. Maybe not. I don't know. Kyle Rittenhouse is the new OJ. I'm just going to come out and say it. He dodged a bullet. Well, did bullets, right? I mean, I don't know what the joke is there yet. But Kyle Rittenhouse tweeted something like, he was like quoting Johnny Depp's press release thing from after the trial result, or the verdict, I suppose you would call it. Trial results. Have I ever read a book? No. Before the trial wow, the verdict. The verdict came out immediately, by the way. It was like written on a typewriter and posted to Instagram. Relax. Can you be less Johnny Depp about it? Type it. Just type it. He's like, no, I had to find a typewriter and I have to scan it and I have to put it on Instagram and I have to tweak the contrast so that you can see what the fucking letters say, because it's impossible to read typewriter grain sometimes. I don't know. Kyle Rittenhouse quoted that verdict response from Johnny Depp, and he was like, oh yeah, the truth really comes out, and justice is justice. I felt that. And it's like, hey, dude, like, just come out and say, hey, Twitter world, I didn't kill those people, because that's what he's saying. Kyle Rittenhouse is the young OJ. And you just see him just like OJ, like on the golf course, like having a great day today. And it's like, disappear. Like, I don't have, like, when it comes to Kyle Rittenhouse, it's like very similar to how I feel about the Johnny Depp and the Amber Heard situation, where, I mean, it is a little different. I'll tell you why. So the Johnny Depp thing, it's very clear that they were both toxic people doing bad things. And the whole trial being televised, it was annoying to me, because I'm like, you're both annoying. You're both abusive. Disappear. Go away. Like, you're making everyone upset, and you're pulling everyone into the business and being like, see, she did that, and see, he did that, and he, did this. And it's like, okay, dude, like, we get it. But, he wanted 50 million and she wanted 100 million, and now they're going to do the appeal. And it's like, you're both fucking annoying. Just go away. Like, go. You both wrote your op-eds. The public opinion has been changed. Whatever the legal results of the trial verdict. I mean, I'm going to kill myself. Legal results. Whatever the judge diary said. Whatever the jury jabber was. Verdict. my mic cut off. Hello? Oh, I can't hear myself anymore. Maybe I did the headphones by accident. Hello? Anyway, whatever. It's fine. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm learning words. We're all learning words, and we're all trying to remember what words mean. But with Kyle Rittenhouse, it was like, okay, technically under the law, you didn't break it. You killed people, and you shouldn't have because you shouldn't have been there. Whether it was your community gas station or your dad's community's gas station, and you felt like whatever, don't do that. Like don't make other people think that it's okay to do what you did. However, it was still legal, like technically. And I mean, the verdict, here we go, right, was found in his favor. You got the golden ticket. You made a mistake. And whether you thought your life was in danger or not, like you killed a person and that is going to weigh on you forever. But like you got away with murder, literally. So disappear. Like, don't come back and be like, I'm going to fight for gun rights. Like, no, dude, you're not the one we want to fight for gun rights. Like, there are so many better people who have not killed anyone. Who can use guns responsibly and who aren't 18. Like, we don't need you to be the guy. Now, don't get me wrong. Love the kid. Kyle Style Drippenhouse is what I call him. Because he's got really fresh outfits and he is always on the golf course and he does have a cute dog. And I do follow him on Instagram because it is a good bit, okay? It's funny to follow Kyle Rittenhouse on Instagram. It's just funny. And I'm glad that he's allowed to have an Instagram and that he's not banned, right? Free speech, whatever. I mean, anyway, just disappear. You don't have to be like, hey, Johnny Depp, you and me are the same. You're not. It's like, the truth is the truth. Different truths, dude. Okay? Wildly different truths. Disappear, all of you. Anyway, I'm going to disappear now, too. This was a lot of fun. Episode 2 of the first female podcast in history. I feel like Buzz motherfucking Aldrin, okay? Make that make sense. Anyway, my name is Lauren LaRoe. This has been Lauren's Dreamhouse. You're perfect. And I wish I could just give you a little kind of on the tip of your nose, because I love all of you so, so very much. And thanks once again to Too Much Content and all their hard work. And good night.